Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Jim Jonas with Veterans in Politics. Today we have Cindy Parker Ruth. Yes, Cindy took up another name. She's married to Wayne Allen Ruth. You know, the talk show host. How many millions he has?
I have no idea.
Yes, that guy. So anyway, Cindy is going to talk to us about the State Veterans Cemetery in Boulder City. But before we get to Miss Ruth, Jim, you have anything?
I want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day weekend. Yes. And I'm wearing this super tight hat in honor of my mom. This was her favorite hat, and obviously it doesn't fit me too well. So, yeah. But
Jim has a big head.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that. But no, all joking aside, though, I really I had a good mom, and I appreciate her and all the other mothers out there as well.
And just to let folks know, this was brought to you by Ron Quince and Stephanie Phillips, who's our sponsors. So, Cindy Parker Ruth, tell us a little bit about you, ma'am. Thank you for coming on the program.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. Oh, my goodness. Because you and I go back.
Yes, we do.
Fun times there. And, I moved to Vegas in 2009 because of my work. I work for a biologics company. And I liked it here. But I keep going back to one of my other homes. And then finally, after a couple of years, I like the people. I like the weather. And I got involved.
You love the 120.
Oh, yes. Love the hot. Well, 115 is my cutoff. Okay.
115.
I'm a Texas girl, and I know what humidity is, and there is none here.
There's none here. Yeah.
But I got to know the city, and then I kind of got into the politics. But I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a conservative. Mm-hmm. I'm a capitalist. I worked for it over 40 years. Yes. And I took care of 2 kids, and they are great kids. They're professionals, and I'm proud of them. So I'm proud to be, it's Mother's Day, so I do have grandkids. Thank you. I've got grandkids, and I'm proud because my kids are teaching them what it is to be an American. But I did ask today, my father, my mother and father were a lot older than me when they had me, but my father taught the wasp to fly in 1942. And the wasps, if you don't know, they were not recognized until 1975, but they actually flew the planes overseas so that we would have those planes. And those women were brave. I have the most amazing photos of that. And he was one of the commanders. But he would come home at night and tell my mother she couldn't wear pants because he saw them in flight suits all day long. My uncle was in Pearl Harbor when it got bombed. And my stepbrother he survived and actually have photos. I wish I could find them, but photos of the bombing and what was going on. And then I have a stepbrother that was in the Army for many years. So I'm proud to know that we have our veterans that go out and they fight for us every day. And what's going on in the world now, don't let that be in vain. We look at the Vietnam. Look at what's happened in Vietnam even. I have friends that are colonels, lieutenant colonels, admirals, and they went out and stuck their neck out. And our Veterans Hospital is full. It's even with Agent Orange. I had a gentleman that came to me, he was 80 years old. He said, Cindy, I still cannot get my benefits. Will you help me? Nobody wants to help me. I did the research from the Vietnam War on Agent Orange. There are 18 tests that could be given, but they don't want to give the benefits out. So I actually and I think maybe I came to you also and you helped, but we actually got this gentleman who was a veteran, his benefits. It took him to the age of 80.
Oh boy.
And then I worked with, this is important to me, there were 2 World War II veterans, and we honored them. And you were there with Andre Haynes when we did that. And one of them had not even received their medals. And Andre was able to get those medals to these gentlemen. They were 91, and I think 90 and 91. And they both died 5 months after they were there with us.
Wow.
But one of them that we brought on and honored, his wife called and said, the last thing he wants to do is, will you bring Cindy Parker to see me again? And he died the next morning. So you look at these.
Did you see him before he passed?
The day before I went over. And I held his hand, and he thanked me for honoring him, and Andre honoring him. Well, that's not us. We're honoring him because we love these people. So the veterans are very, very important to me. And the main reason for being on today is that we have a gentleman named Ralph. He came to me and he said, we have a veterans cemetery here. It's Boulder City. There's over 32,000 graves, more now. And I think it's 8 acres, 10 acres of land. There's no one to clean these graves. So I had a connection here in the city, and I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. I was part of the cemetery advisory board.
Oh, uh-huh.
I believe Governor Gibbons is the one that appointed me to the board.
Okay.
And then Governor Sandoval was going to reinstate it, and that's when I decided I was done with my term. But the Cemetery Advisory Board is supposed to take a look at the Boulder Cemetery here and the one in northern Nevada. And they're supposed to make sure that the upkeep of the cemetery is good to go. And, I even help write and pass a bill with the help of then Senator Mark Menendez, who was also part of the Cemetery Advisory Board, to keep the turf natural grass instead of desert landscaping. So that was one of the bills that we pushed in. So is it not going that way anymore?
Evidently, and I can only speak from the time they call me. So this time last year, I get a call and they said, they're overgrown. All the graves are overgrown. And if you haven't been there, they're flat. And then I think it's the marble or that's put on front of them, right? Yeah. The graves are overgrown with grass and weeds. So what we did, or it was for July 4th, I believe, we need help because I think they only have 4 people out there that are helping them. Mm-hmm. Now, you're burying 8 to 10 veterans a day because they come from California, they come from Arizona, I guess the surrounding states. Mm-hmm. I mean, correct me if I'm not right on that. So now you have about maybe 5 that are buried in the ground, and then maybe the other 5, just percentage of it, that are, put in urns, cremated. But how do these people, there's not enough people, and now you've got all these graves you've got to take care of. Mm-hmm. So they came and they said, Cindy, can you go and maybe on Wayne's show get volunteers? Mm-hmm. I said, let's do this. I went to Landcare, which is a major landscaper here in Nevada. And I asked them, do you do community projects? And they said, for you, Cindy. I said, no, not for me. I want you to do it because I'm a citizen of Nevada. And they go, absolutely. We love to do things for the community. What is it you want? And they did. They 4 times a year. They're sending their crews out. And as we all know, we have a shortage of landscapers. And what now? So Landcare goes and cleared the graves out as much as they could. And most of these guys that volunteered, I mean, they did pay some of them to do it, but a lot of these landscapers volunteered themselves. I mean, that gives me chill bumps.
You know what? I'm gonna. There's two brothers that I know really good with landscaping. The Jonas Brothers. You ever heard of them?
Oh no.
Yeah, they the back of this area, they cleaned it all out.
Really?
And I think they're very good at that. You probably want to get a hold of them to help with the cemetery.
I would love that because we need more than 16 people to go out and help us get this cleared.
So I was going to ask you just real quick because you pointed out something that's very I don't know, it just sticks out to me, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of guilty of it at times too. And so I'm going to throw myself under the bus here as well. I've noticed that when it comes to veteran cemeteries, no matter what state it is, because both my grandparents that were Korean War vets, we noticed that they're born in a state cemetery in South Dakota. And it's really interesting how if you drive by, and you'll see weeds and all this stuff going, but boy, I'll tell you, come about a week before the 4th of July, everybody and their mother's out there and they're planting flags, and then you know what? The rest of the year, Well, maybe Veterans Day. Let me rephrase.
Or Reef Across America,
or Memorial Day, or
yes.
But it's not like a weekly thing. So, like, are you noticing that? Or
Absolutely, and that's why, like, it's important before Memorial Day, because May 26th, which is my birthday, and I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be helping. Thank you. It's hard to be 29 again, or 39, or whatever 9 you want.
I thought it was 22.
Yeah, I was 22. Well, I thought it was 21.
You know, when you start telling these numbers and your kids are older than you, you know there is a problem with math, okay? So, but I totally agree. That's why, but it was important May 26th, because we had to have this all cleaned out, because they are putting the flags up. And I think Victoria Seaman, I think she also heads that up. I know Wayne, he contributed, $1,000, $2,000 a year or 2 years ago, just to buy new flags, because you've got more people in the cemetery. So, but you're right. And these 4 or 6 guys, you can't clean or keep 32,000 plus graves. We will have extra equipment out there by Land Care that will help supply some of that for us. And I do have to say, Brightview, they promise to do it twice a year. And Brightview is also another major landscaping company here. So I have to give them credit for going out and saying, yes, we will do it as a community project. And the landscapers are willing to do it.
But have you got a hold of the Cemetery Advisory Board?
Yes, no, not the advisory. It's the gentleman that's over it out there. I think Brian. And
that's in charge of the cemetery.
In charge of the cemetery. And so we work with him to make sure he knows what days we're coming out and everything's planned out. I think the Boy Scouts go out. There's other groups that do go out. And I'm sorry, I can't give them recognition because I can't remember who they are. But you do have some of these groups. And I do have to say, there are some of the Republican clubs that women that will go out, because some of these people don't, when they die, they don't have family. And I will get it from Ralph McNamara, and he will say, okay, on this day, can you come? Because this is who we have. They'd have no families. But we can't forget our veterans. And right now, my neighbor is a lieutenant colonel. I'm telling you, she's 99 pounds, maybe. Wow. She taught them how to fly the F-16s. In fact, she met her husband in Korea because he was over there because the Air Force, right? And he's over right now, a year outside of where he is. I won't mention that, but he's overseas, and he will actually be home next month. Now, his kids have gone without him for 1 year.
Wow.
And these are the most precious children. I love them. They're my neighbors. I don't want to ever lose them, right? But you see where I'm going with this? Now, children are left without their parents because now we're over fighting something. Yeah. But I do want to, like I said, Brian has been really good to say, can you help? And yes, I come to people like you too and say, can you help me find people to go out and help with the cemeteries? And they can either contact either one of you, or they can do it off my email. I just need people to come out and let us know in advance that you'll be there May 26th. And then I think they're probably going to need some help to put the flag at the cemetery.
What time?
Probably like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning.
And what day is May 26th?
It's on a Friday. And I know a lot of people work, and I understand that. But if there are any groups, please, should they let you know and then you let me know?
Sure.
If you could let Steve know.
Or they could contact you direct.
Or contact me directly. It's Parker Cindy 39 at Yahoo. And in the subject, just put flags or whatever. I get a lot of emails. But I will give you the data because I'm sure we're going to be there all day. But we do want to honor them with the flags and put the flags up on Saturday because then Monday is Memorial Day. But I think any time that out of your heart that you can volunteer, you can let us know. And we just need to honor our veterans.
So let me ask you this, just real quick. So besides the May 26th date, and Steve had brought this up earlier about the Veterans Advisory Board, right? So how exactly let's just say, I'm off on a Saturday and I want to go do something at the cemetery. Is there anybody I can contact?
Yes.
Or so it doesn't necessarily always have to be this super coordinated event.
No.
Like, is there someone I could contact so I don't get in trouble if I just randomly showed up and started doing stuff?
It's the Boulder City Veterans Cemetery. And whoever answers, you can actually talk to them. There's a really nice girl, but his name's Brian that's over it. And I know he's got his hands.
Do you have a phone number
No,
or an email address for him?
You know what? I'm so sorry. I don't have it's in my phone. So I can give that to you. I wish I was sorry. I wasn't prepared for that today.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Boulder City Veterans Cemetery. If you call out there, because again, you've got all kinds of groups that are trying to help.
Right.
But it's real, our state should be able to take care of this. It's, if not the state, I don't think the federal government takes care of it. I know they pay for the headstones, correct?
Well, yes. Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah,
that's from what I understand.
That's what I understand, yes.
I'm on the Nevada Veterans Cemetery Advisory Board website, and what you described, clean up the grave sites, they're supposed to be doing that.
Well, there you go.
And I know when I was on the board years ago, that's what we did. We made sure that there was no weeds and anything like that at this. So Nevada Veterans Cemetery Advisory Board, do your job.
Yes, and in fact, I will be calling them Monday morning, talking about that. But like I said, I got this call and I reacted very quickly because I was for July 4th last year. I was trying to think what it was. But I was just trying to get a crew out there and take care of the problem then.
So let me ask you this, Cindy. Have you ever served?
No. I'm.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think that's also something that's super important that a lot of individuals don't understand. Just because you haven't personally served, doesn't mean there's not ways you can serve and respect veterans. One of the reasons why I'm involved with veterans in politics is because of my family history with so many people serving. So you don't have to be a veteran in order to serve and respect your veterans. So that's something too that I think individuals need to understand, especially now with, unfortunately, and I wish the statistics were better, less than 1% of the American population right now is actually serving in the military, in the armed forces. So the military really, really needs civilians to be involved and help out our veterans in whatever capacity you can.
And you brought up also, Steve brought up on the wreaths, because I know at Christmas they try to do all the wreaths. But trying to get money just to buy the wreaths or trying to get money to purchase the flags. I mean, those donations are really, really important because there were a lot of graves last year that went without flags. Mm-hmm. So that breaks my heart too. But I will always be there for them. And I really got involved into this. There was a bad thing that happened in my life about 6 years ago. And I heard helicopters, and it really affected me. And about 2 weeks later, I was sitting outside, and I was just kind of enjoying life. And I realized these military people that we have fighting for us, can you imagine that they're out listening to these helicopters every single day, and they're being fired upon? And here I was affected just by watching a crime scene go around. You see what I'm saying? The helicopters that affected, I got chill bumps, knowing that our guys are out every single day listening to the shelling and to the bombing and to the helicopters. So can you imagine what they come back and how they feel? We cannot let the veterans go. In any event or anything that happens, I know the three of us, we're going to be there. And I know Andre Haynes. I keep bringing Andre up.
Andre's a great guy.
But Andre was the one that also got me involved into doing this in the Chamber of Commerce. But don't give up on our veterans. Be there for them because you only have two choices. You have socialist communism or you have freedom. I know which one I like, and it's the one on the right hand, and it's freedom. And I'm going to give that to my children. And I'm going to give that to my grandchildren and to their children. And we never, never give up. And you too, thank you for what you do. You have educated me on so much on veterans and what you do. And you stand up And if we don't stand up for what we feel, and I have to be careful sometimes because I got to smile when I want to say things, but I can't say things, Just say it. So, but listen, we're in trouble. And if we don't back our military and we don't back each other and we don't watch what's coming into our country, we fight against these terrorists. Don't put everything in vain for what we have done over all these years. Don't give up. In the military, we need people in the military. We need police officers. We need to back our blue because they protect us. So, and I've got a lot of spunk in me. And I used to tell Wayne I'm Wayne Allen Root in high heels. And actually, I'm going to fight for my state and my country. But I don't know what else about veterans I can say. Is just don't ever give up. Help them. Whatever you can do. It doesn't matter. If you even one day wanted to go out to the hospital, the Veterans Hospital that's out in
Pecos and 215 North.
The North.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there one day and sit and look. Because I went out and I helped them with some legals, with attorneys, and we were representing us as, it was the Men's Republican Club. We went out. We thought we will help. But I watched the line come out of where they have, it's not called mental illness, but it's whatever that division is. And these guys are asking for help because they can't forget what they saw. But go out and watch that line as they come out the door and they come down the hallway. They're asking for help. Take care of them when they come back. I don't know what else to say or what to do, but having this opportunity, at least today, I can go home and it makes my Mother's Day perfect. It's going to make my birthday perfect to be out helping.
Miss Ruth, did we cover everything?
Yes, thank you. And if you could just let me know, Parker Cindy 39 at yahoo.com or yours.
I'm gonna let you do that. Jim,
Yes.
you have anything else?
No, just thank you for everything you do for veterans.
Thank you.
It's really nice to see civilians get
Exactly.
involved. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Cindy Parker Ruth, Mark is going to zoom in on you, and you have the last words, whatever you want to say, and your point of contact again if you want to give it.
Well, I am Cindy Parker Root, but I do go by Cindy Parker. And God bless America. God bless our veterans. God bless the people that are protecting our country. We all need to stand together. I love my freedom. I'm going to be here to fight whatever I can do. And when I help people like I'm with today, you can't ask for anything more. But God bless America.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Folks, thanks, Jim. Folks, that's Cindy Parker Root discussing how important it is to volunteer for veterans, especially at the Veterans state-recognized Veterans Cemetery. And there's 2 state-recognized cemeteries. There's one in Northern Nevada, and then there's one here in Southern Nevada in Boulder City. And they really need help with the landscaping out there. So if you could volunteer your time, please get a hold of Miss Root, and she'll guide you in the right direction. This is Steve Sampson, Jim Jones for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.